everyone, and welcome back to the Whatever the I Want podcast, where I, your host, Gaby, get to talk about whatever the I want. And today's episode is just about not giving a single. You have to stop caring so much. So, I know that by the title of this episode, you already feel like you understand the gist of it, but I truly don't think that you do. Whenever I say don't give a fuck, that means go for whatever you want to go for. Stop caring about, well, my parents want me to be a doctor, my family wants me to do this, what will my boyfriend think of me? I was thrifting. I found this shirt that says, I love my boyfriends. I am in a monogamous relationship. I was showing somebody on FaceTime and they were like, oh, my partner wouldn't let me get that. And it really clicked into my brain, and as I thought about it, my partner wouldn't let me. Why are we thinking about what your partner will think? It is your life to live, and you should be in a relationship with somebody who allows you to be yourself entirely. I am wearing this fucking shirt. I don't have multiple boyfriends, but it's funny to me, and it's quirky, and like I like it. But like, why would I care about what anybody says, including my partner? Now, that's not to say that if you set boundaries and somebody oversteps them, like that is, totally fine. Like, that's not what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is you should not hold back who you are at the expense of somebody else. You should always be yourself. You should always be confident in yourself. You should always be confident in your decision making. You should always know who you are and to stand by that. And I think that's what I'm getting at. And it's important to not care about what other people think about you in terms of what your family is saying. I spent so much time of my life thinking, what will my family say? I've mentioned, tattoos, piercings, haircuts, and so many people in my life would be like, no, you shouldn't do that. I don't like that idea, whatever. And it's like, okay, but it's the same thing with you, believing my body, my choice. Why doesn't it apply to literally everything else? It is my life, my choice. If somebody chooses to be in a polyamorous relationship, why do you have to give your 2 cents? Respect what they do. That's fine. Not for me. Same thing when it comes to like sex workers or things like that. If that's not your vibe, that's fine. That's them, and this is you. And so it's important to stop projecting things onto people simply because you do not know who you are. I think it's so important to spend so much time alone and figuring out what it is that you want out of life. My partner's away for the weekend, and so what did I do yesterday? Yesterday, I wanted to coop up inside. I took an edible, and I watched TV, and I just was a potato. Seriously, I was a complete potato. And I wasn't going to allow myself, and I drew too. I drew, and like to me, that's productive. But I knew that my brain needed to rest. I knew that I didn't have the energy to edit, to do anything like that, because I knew that I needed the rest. But still, I could allow for that little part of my brain to be like, you lazy fuck. Why are you not doing anything? Whatever. And I knew that I was like reaching a point of getting burnt out. So I'm like, I cannot force myself to do something that even I don't want to do, because it's only going to lead to worse things later on. So if at any given moment something does not feel right for you, even if it's going to grab brunch with your friends, if it's going to do this, going to do that, and it doesn't feel right for you, leave the situation. And if somebody's going to sit here and say, oh, she only came to the baby shower for an hour, guess she doesn't care about family. Oh, well, this person only came to this wedding, for 20 minutes, and then they claimed that they had anxiety and then left. I know that people who talk like that. And if you're one of those people who talks like that, you need to stop that shit, because it is not your life. Who are you to say this person does not feel this way? This person does feel this way. Who are you to dictate these things? It is up to an individual person how they feel, what their beliefs are, etc. So while I'm out here rewiring my brain and you're sitting here talking shit, oh, well, why is she wearing this? Or why does her hair look like this? Like, even today, I was going to put on an outfit and I was really close to texting my sister about, like, what does she think? But there's times where I'll put on an outfit and she'll be like, that's ugly. And it's like, why am I allowing for her, including family, why am I allowing for her to tell me something is not cute or is not for me whenever that's for me to dictate? So stop looking to people for external validation. If I like the outfit, I'm gonna fucking wear it. Why am I gonna sit here and ask so and so what they think about it? It's my little life. I'm my own little Bratz doll. I get to play my own little dress up. I get to wear whatever I want, whatever shoes I want, decorate my house how I want, whatever. Stop falling into these patterns of this is what's in style. Oh, so I'm going to change my whole life. I have to redo the kitchen again. We just redid it a couple years ago. I got to redo it again because this isn't in style anymore. There's so many people that I know that are like that and they're just stuck. They're so stuck in whatever it is that society is dictating is cool. And you know who fucking dictates what's cool or what's not? The people who are individuals. The people who are individuals who are out here like, oh, you know what? I like this style. Oh, I love wearing a bandana on my head, whatever. And so people try to imitate that, right? They're like, wow, that's what you're cool because you're authentic. So I'm going to do what you're doing versus I'm just going to wear my hair like this because it feels cool. Like, for example, I wasn't a middle part girl at all. I was always a side part. I did side parts for a long time. And whenever I first started doing middle parts, I was like, oh, I don't really know how I feel about it. And over time, I was like, wait, I actually do like it. It looks symmetrical, etc. And so I'm not saying that like there aren't things that are trendy or popular or things that other people do that you can't adapt. But I literally saw this video of this girl who she's an influencer going through a lawsuit because there's literally another influencer who is copying her things from head to toe to the point where like she had a tattoo on her arm that now this other influencer also got that tattoo on her arm. And so it's like she's literally copying her style, the way her kitchen's decorated, literally everything. Like, and it's like there's a very fine line between being inspired by something versus copying something. It is totally okay to get inspiration from Pinterest on what you should draw, on what you should do, but it's also very important to understand that creativity comes from within. So a lot of my drawings look like flowers, and it's just because that's the one thing that can come up into my head. And so it's like I know that I can expand my creativity by looking at other things and trying other things. And so that's what I'm getting at is expand your mind, expand your creativity, expand who you are by trying new things. But I'm not saying adapt every single aesthetic that you see, which aesthetics don't even fucking matter. None of this fucking matters. But you know, stop trying to be somebody that you're not. You know, it's almost like whenever you see somebody wearing something that they don't feel comfortable in, right? So like maybe somebody's like busty and they are always going like this or like covering up themselves. Like you can physically see whenever somebody's not comfortable. And so it's like, well, what would make her more comfortable? Maybe it's wearing a bra, maybe it's not wearing a bra. I don't wear bras because I don't like them. They're not comfortable for me. I very rarely will wear one. And it's like, I don't do that because I'm like, oh, I want attention. It's like, no, I do it because it feels comfortable for me. And if that doesn't feel comfortable for you, then that's you. So it's not my place to tell you who you are. And it's not in your place to tell me who I am. And so embrace authenticity, embrace who you are, and go down whatever path that leads you. If you're going to be the first person in your family who is a YouTube person, okay, then go fucking do that and don't care about what anybody else says, because the dreams that lie within you are for you. They're not for anybody else. If you want to be a speech teacher, if you want to be a professor, if you want to be a scientist, if you want to be a doctor, whatever it is that you want to be, those dreams are yours because they're yours to accomplish. They're not mine, right? Like, I don't want to be a scientist. I don't have any desire to study blood or whatever. And so it's like, but that dream exists within somebody for that reason. And so stop thinking that I need to like adapt to what everybody else is doing. Oh, well, all my friends are going to nursing school, so I should be a nurse. Oh, well, I have a friend who's a dentist and it seemed like that was the easy route, so I'm going to do that, which dentistry school does take quite a bit of time. I'm just giving this as an example. Oh, but my friend has a Bronco, so now I want a Bronco. You want one because your friend has one? What if your friend had bought a Honda? What if your friend bought this car? Would your opinion then change about it? And so it's important to understand who you are at your core. If you don't like small vehicles, which is something that I have changed my mind about, like when I was in high school, I drove a Scion TC, which was really low. And over time, my vehicles have slowly gotten taller. And I can appreciate short cars, but I genuinely like the feeling of being in a higher vehicle. It's just something that I like. It's just a preference of mine. And it is okay to have preferences. It's okay to prefer rock music over country music. It's okay to do this and to do that. You know, it's like the same thing with like Nickelback. Everybody gives, excuse me, Nickelback so much hate. It's like a meme to like hate Nickelback. But like, I like Nickelback songs. And, you know, like, it's crazy because like Shrek, I was like, is this a meme? Like, what's happening? Like, everybody loves Shrek now. And so it's like, if you like something and other people don't like it, that is okay. And if you don't like something that other people like, that is okay. It's like, don't sit here and just follow the path that's already been laid out for you. It is scary. It is scary to get to know yourself. It is, you know, uncomfortable to sit in your thoughts. It's uncomfortable to look at yourself naked in the mirror. These things are uncomfortable at first, but the more that you jump into, you know, a new course that you've never taken but you've always wanted to, the more that you jump into the unknown, the more you truly, truly, truly get to know yourself. I had been in relationships like back to back for so long. The longest I have been single since I graduated since 2014 was a year. It was like a year, maybe a year and a month or two. And I, during that time, had experienced so much growth. And there's so much beauty in being alone. How many times did my grandma, did aunts, did people in my life ask me, ¿Y el novio? Are you dating anybody? What's going on in your life? And it's like, why can't I date myself? And so it's really, really important that you do date yourself, that you figure out who you are, what you like, what you don't like. And it is okay for those things to change. I grew up hating olives. I now like olives. And so I am like actively working on rewiring my brain to get over these things that I was once in fear of. Example, I am filming in public. There's been so many cars driving by. There's been people walking. There's been people bicycling. And it's like some part of me, you know, even a month ago would have been like, oh my God, I see people. You remember the New York video when somebody like literally walked in front of the camera? I was like, I lost my train of thought. But I'm actively working on like just not caring. So I filmed myself while at the poke place and at the coffee shop that I was just at. Like, these people I'm never gonna see again. And I used to like get insecure or like worry about, but it's like they're literally never gonna see me again. And if they are seeing me, they're watching me be successful and do something that I am passionate about. So like, why would I sit here and care? So yeah, I mean, I did read the book The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck a long time ago. I believe it was while I was doing 75 Hard. So it was at some point fall of last year. And I think it was other books that allowed for things to click into my brain. But I think it is so important to express yourself as you are, do the things that you want, and to just stop caring about what people are going to say, because people are always going to have something to say. They're either going to cheer you on or they're not. And it's like, it doesn't matter if they are. What matters is, are you cheering yourself on? Are you encouraging yourself? Are you pushing yourself outside of the box? Are you trying new things? Are you dating yourself? Like, your relationship with yourself is single-handedly the most important relationship that you will ever have on this entire planet. And if this were me a couple years ago and I was in a relationship and my partner was gone for the weekend, I would not have left the house. I would have stayed behind a computer screen and played video games. And it's just so wild to me to think that I spent so much time being that person and being okay with that, being complacent and falling into the patterns that I've seen so many people in my life fall into, of like, my partner's everything. I need to just do everything that my partner does. And I need to take care of my partner. That's my job. And it's like, no, I'm an individual. They're an individual. And together we both need to be individuals. And then, you know, obviously there's compromise, there's this or that. But like, I still am Gaby at the end of the day. Like, I am not so-and-so's girlfriend. I'm Gaby. That is who I am. I'm not so-and-so's daughter. I'm not so-and-so's sister. Like, sure, those are like parts of me, but who am I at my core? I am Gaby. I am who I am. You have to love me or you don't love me, and it doesn't matter, because I love myself. And that's where a really big part of this comes from, is like just loving yourself, knowing who you are, and standing in your power, and not allowing other people to dictate who you are. Oh, well, I've never seen you wear the color red before. Why all of a sudden are you wearing red? And you just say like, well, why all of a sudden are you all up in my business? And it's just like really allow for people to question themselves by them critiquing you. Like, why are you sitting here critiquing me? Don't you have something better to do? Don't you have something better to do? You're out here bothered by me, and I'm sitting in a park recording a video. I just had my pokey out here. I'm listening to the birds. You know, the weather is beautiful. I'm enjoying my time. And it's like, and you're going to sit behind a screen and say what you think is right. Because everybody thinks that their own opinions are right. You know, there are thoughts, there are beliefs, we think that they're right. But rather than thinking your opinions are right, just think about how your opinions on yourself are right. If you think that you're lazy, well then guess what? You're lazy. Why? Because you said that. I didn't say that. You said that. So say like, I am fill in the blank, and guess what? That's what you fucking are, because you dictated that. If I want to say that I am, I'm a podcast host, guess what? I fucking am, because I said it, because I'm here showing up. And so like, obviously there is inspired action that comes with a lot of these things, like in terms of manifestation and how do you step into this new timeline and stuff. But ultimately, it's just about standing in your power, knowing who the fuck you are, and just being like, and I don't care what anybody else says or what anybody else thinks. Because why should I? I have to live with myself at the end of the day. They don't have to live with me. They're not in my head. They're not thinking the things that I think. I'm not sitting here worried about what somebody from the 4th grade is doing. I'm not sitting here wondering about what my middle school bullies were doing, what my high school bullies were doing. You think I'm fucking doing that? That is a waste of my time. Energy goes where attention flows. If you think that I am sitting here like, what is so-and-so doing, scrolling, looking at all these people, oh, I accidentally liked their picture, da, da, da. If you think I'm doing that, you are totally fucking wrong. And that is your own prerogative to believe. That's your own story. That's your own narrative. So do the same thing. Pour into yourself. Rather than sitting there scrolling and looking at what so-and-so is doing and gossiping and talking about this and that, worry about your damn self. What are you doing? What are you doing to chase your dreams? What are you doing to get to where you want to be at? You're wasting your time sitting here worrying about other people and what other people are going to think and what other people are going to say. Think about those 5 minutes of you spiraling, what that could have gone towards. It could go towards you studying. It could go towards you writing. Like today I spent over an hour writing a book that I've been working on. I spent I don't even think much time this past week writing on it. But today I was like, I'm going to sit and write, no distractions. And I did. And I feel great. And yeah, I sat in a coffee shop and I was at a table for 4 and I was one person. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, well, I'm taking up so much room. Oh my God, what are people going to say? They're going to think, oh my gosh, she's a bitch. She has the whole table to herself. You should have came here earlier. Oh my gosh, have you seen that video of that girl who's at a coffee shop? And she's they're both influencers. One's an influencer, one's sitting down and she's like, filming her own content, whatever. And then another influencer approaches her and she goes, can you give up your table? And she's like, what are you talking about? I got here first. This is the table that I decided to come at and I like this table. Another girl goes, oh, well, I'm an influencer and I have this many followers. And I just want that table because I have to film a brand deal and I just really like the lighting there. And the girl's like, okay, you should have got here earlier. This is my fucking table. And that's what I'm talking about. Stand your ground, take up your space. That's my fucking table. This is my space too. And just because you didn't prepare does not mean that I have to give up who I am because of you. Make it make sense. Make it make absolute sense. I got here before you. And who gives a fuck about a number? I'm watching, I think it's called Am I Dead Yet? Something like that. I was watching it on my iPad, and there was an episode about a person who was an influencer and they had however many million followers, whatever. And they ended up dying. And at their funeral, nobody could release anything nice because this person had followers and not friends. So stop sitting here and thinking that having a certain statistic, a certain analytic, a certain number makes you any more valuable than somebody else. It does not matter at all. Like that is all. Like you really think that matters in life? You really think so? A number on the internet? Dude, what matters is, are you healthy? Do you have hair on your head? Is your heart working properly? Do you have running water? Like, why are people sitting here getting so caught up into this narrative that a number on the internet dictates your value or your worth? It does not. Celebrities are humans. Famous people are humans. Inventors are humans. Athletes are humans. There is literally no difference at all between you and literally anybody around you. So stop caring about what people say. Start caring about what you think about yourself. And, you are going to lose people in your life whenever you start thinking, like, whenever you start standing your ground, like, this is who I am. If you don't like who I am, bye. People will start dropping off like flies, but those are people who are not meant to be in your life anyways. The people who are not supporting you, the people who are not actively cheering you on, let me tell you right now, they might not be cheering you on while you're working on it, but I guarantee you the second that they see what they value as success, hey girl, you remember me? Hey, you remember how that one time we did this? Oh my gosh, we should hang out. I haven't seen you in so long. Oh my gosh, this and that, whatever. And it's like, but where were you while I was building? Where were you when I was building? Same thing with like a come up. Like when people are coming up, people are like, oh, how embarrassing. They post themselves. Oh my gosh, how cringe, whatever. And people want to like give their own opinions and like, oh my gosh, people think it's embarrassing to be seen trying. I used to be like that. I used to think, what are people going to think of me after this post? Or what are people going to say? Or whatever. And it's like, and so what if I'm being perceived? So what? I don't know why I spent so much time like holding myself back for so long. It was literally for no reason at all. And so it feels so good to just like be who you are, be confident in who you are, and to still be learning about yourself. I'm sure I'm not going to be I'm sure that this version of me is not the version of me that's going to exist in 5 years from now. And that is okay, because the Gaby at 28 years old loved herself just as she was. And the Gaby at 30, whoever many years old, is still going to love herself just as she is. And so it's so important to love yourself throughout the phases of your life, to love yourself before you have kids, to love yourself before you get married. I met somebody the other day who said that they were 22 and they're married. And obviously I'm not here to dictate whether or not somebody's ready to get married. I don't know those things. But I genuinely hope that this person loves themselves as they are, and that they felt like this was their time to get married. And that's great. I mean, how am I going to tell somebody to live their life? It's their life to live. How am I going to say, that's not your person? That's not who you're going to marry? You know how many times like people have thought those things, or I have even thought those things? I'll meet a friend's boyfriend and then I'm like, this is Gaby years ago. They're not going to get married. They're going to break up. I have had friends and people in my life put bets on whether or not people are going to break up. And it's like, why were we like that? Why were we sitting here putting energy and time and attention towards something that does not even fucking matter? I don't give a fuck if so-and-so marries who and who. I really don't care about that. But the fact that there was a version of me who was like, chismeando. A part of me used to chismear and, oh, what's happening here? What's happening there? And it's just like, that is some low vibrational shit. Stop caring about what other people are doing. Worry about your damn self. Worry about your own damn family. Worry about your own damn stuff. And stop caring. Oh, well, we broke up and we got back together. We broke up, we got back together. What are people going to say? What are people going to think? Stop caring. Stop caring. Life is short. So why am I going to spend that time and energy on other people when it is so short that I should just spend it on myself? The only time that you have is now. So spend it loving yourself, getting to know yourself, growing, evolving, changing your thought patterns, rewiring your brain, reading, expanding your mind, expanding your consciousness. Love yourself more. Tell yourself that you love yourself more. And I think ultimately it will lead to you learning not to give a fuck about what anybody else says, because it's not their life to live, it's yours to live, babe. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all. I hope that you all spend some time taking yourself out on a date because you freaking deserve it. You don't need no man to go on a date. You don't need no man to do literally anything. You can take yourself out to a 5-star restaurant just because you want to, and you can go by yourself. You'll be okay. You can go to the movies by yourself. You'll be okay. You can go bowling by yourself. You'll be okay. You can invite people. They don't want to go. That's fine. I'm going by myself. You don't need anybody. All you need is yourself. So be confident. Know that you're powerful. Especially like women. Women are so fucking powerful, and that's why men like held us back for so long, because they knew how fucking powerful we are. And they're intimidated by it. Let me tell you that men are intimidated by women, especially a strong, confident woman who knows who the fuck she is. Yeah, nobody can mess with that. Nobody can touch on that. Know your power, queen. I'll catch you in the next one. Love y'all. Bye.